I'm Hill Harper. I'm an actor, I'm an author, and someone who cares about social justice and education.
Following Melody's pregnancy confirmation, Martell Holt was taken aback. He's unable to contain himself. All right, you're not prepared for this one. Melody Sherry may be pregnant, according to rumors circulating the internet. Martell Holt is not taking it well, to put it mildly. So let's go back a little. Martell and Melody's relationship was going well lately. Even Martell was present to give Melody her flowers. He stated quite bluntly in a few recent interviews that she is a good mother. We're not used to hearing that from him, particularly in light of everything they've endured. It's been a lot, divorce, custody disputes, and infidelity. Fans were surprised that he was at last displaying some deference, and naturally the fauna began to speculate. It seemed like everyone was holding their breath, waiting for the other shoe to drop because everything was so quiet before the storm. Additionally, if you've watched Love and Marriage Huntsville long enough, you already know that peace doesn't last because rumors began to circulate just when everything appeared to be quiet. This is the juicy part. Suddenly, Melody is connected to Hill Harper, and certainly not the type of person who typically makes headlines for gossip. People initially ignored it. Melody and Hill Harper didn't sound genuine.
Do I know you?
Actor, author, philanthropist, and now a proud single father.
After all, he has previously been associated with Michelle Obama. He's really quiet. However, the internet began to make connections. Hill began liking some of Melody's posts, and people noticed. Some reciprocal follows appeared. Then, without any images to support it, someone said they were spotted at the same event. However, that was sufficient to start the rumors. Just when people thought, well, maybe they're just friends, a pregnancy rumor surfaced. And that's what really got people going crazy. Hill Harper is the baby daddy, and Melody may be expecting. That's what got people talking. Screenshots appeared. People reported seeing Melody out in less fitted clothing than usual. One admirer claimed to have seen her at a wellness center. And that's when Martell snapped. Production sources claim that Martell had a complete breakdown while filming Love and Marriage Huntsville. No, not for the cameras, that was behind the scenes. He wasn't trying to hear it. When one of the producers allegedly tried to soothe him.
Full story, just in time for Father's Day, about an award-winning actor who's taking on possibly the biggest role in his life as a single dad. We're going to speak to Hill Harper.
He allegedly stated, "She wants the world to think I'm replaceable," at one point. And that line wasn't just about jealousy, it sounded individualized. It was a deep cut. It was more than just another man. It had to do with Melody's future, not just with another person, but with a respected individual who was free of the baggage that Martell carries. When fans learned about the outburst, they said it sounded like he was regretting it and realizing he had truly lost her. And not only lost her, but also the story. Melody has remained silent, concentrated, and head down. Martell, meanwhile, is spiraling, and it's evident. And guess who made the decision to speak up while Martell was over here spiraling? Now that Hill Harper himself has finally responded to the rumors, let's get started. Someone in the audience directly questioned him about the pregnancy rumors and the alleged relationship with Melody Sherry during a recent panel on fatherhood and Black male leadership. You would think that such a question would surprise someone, but Hill maintained his composure throughout. Simple, elegant, and straightforward. No eye rolls, no dodging. We are not in a relationship and there is no pregnancy, he stated. He continued with something that caused people to raise their eyebrows. He praised Melody as a strong, determined woman who is accomplishing incredible things and stated that he has nothing but respect for her. But that was about it. Please respect a clear boundary that has been drawn in the sand. No flirting, no we'll see what happens. This is what truly stood out. Hill made it very apparent that he had no intention of being drawn into the drama of reality TV. Fans read between the lines when he said, "I keep my personal life private and out of the blogs for a reason," even though he didn't explicitly name anyone. He clearly did not wish to be involved in the chaos of the Martell Melody. At least that was the intended outcome. But that one quote essentially put an end to it all. For now, fans were saying, all right, hold on. Was all of this idle chatter? Was it simply a miscommunication that was exaggerated? Or were we all playing checkers and someone else was out here playing chess? This is where Melody enters the picture. Because Melody remained silent while Hill came out and ended it all with a single sentence. She chose to do what she always does when things get messy rather than clearing the air. She became obscure. She began posting cryptic Instagram captions that left everyone wondering. Things such as, "New beginnings are lovely. Keep the peace at all costs. Everything occurs for a reason. One post featured 3 emojis, a baby bottle, a flower, and a white heart. Just vibes, no caption or background. And the photographs? All of them dreamy with their full glam, subtle lighting, and calculated poses. Either something was cropped for convenience, or the camera was angled perfectly. The abdomen was never fully visible, as fans observed. You would notice her flowing clothing, her baggy jackets, and the hand positions that coincidentally concealed her midsection. Naturally, the comments were overrun by fans. Someone commented, "She's been glowing in a different way. Martell is going to go crazy if this is true. I also hope she is living her best life and is expecting a child from a real man." However, Melody said nothing, and the internet noticed something else while everyone was still attempting to crack her Instagram like it was the Da Vinci Code. One morning, an arbitrary tweet appeared. Someone reported seeing Melody at an Atlanta clinic. "I saw Melody Sherry at the wellness clinic with some fine mystery man," the tweet said. The problem now is this. Before it was quickly removed, it began to circulate. Then came the hazy images. You know, the ones that were taken from a great distance, of poor quality, but sufficiently obvious to provoke discussion. One depicts a woman who could be Melody entering a building with a man wearing a hoodie and sunglasses. Some people zoomed in and claimed that it was Hill. Others believed it to be Martell. Some claimed it was a completely new person. And Martell's next move came just as things were starting to calm down. Martell Holt may have said nothing outright, but that cryptic post said it all. So let's talk about his extremely suspicious Instagram activity. Martell posts this message to his Instagram story out of the blue. Particularly when lies reopen them, some wounds never fully recover. But come on, everyone who was watching this drama play out knew exactly who that was directed at. There was no more obvious timing. The rumors of a pregnancy were already intensifying. Hill Harper had just made everything public, and Melody was out here remaining silent but making very strategic moves. Therefore, fans assumed right away that Martell was making fun of Melody when he posted that message. Within the hour, he even removed the post. However, that is meaningless now, as we are all aware. They were prepared. Almost immediately after screenshots appeared on blogs, the topic of discussion changed from whether Melody was pregnant to why Martell was pressed. Many fans think he felt manipulated because Melody knew what she was doing by remaining silent and allowing the rumors to circulate. Martell, on the other hand, has been through this before. He is familiar with the internet. People's sympathy for Melody would completely change if they believed that he had moved on and become pregnant by someone else, and he is aware of that. Therefore, the post, "Wounds reopened by lies," felt like a snap decision. It sounds as though a man is experiencing embarrassment, exclusion, and possibly even being caught off guard by something unexpected. It is even more evident given how quickly he erased it. It was not scheduled, it had an emotional component. There was a brief burst of regret or jealousy before he quickly snatched it back. And that takes us straight to the core of the matter. Is this genuinely about control or love? Fans are constantly asking that question. According to some, Martell is just a heartbroken man who has never moved on from Melody. They believe that every small post, awkward interview, and tearful moment is evidence that he still wants his family back and that he is still in love. The fan base's opposing viewpoint, however, is completely different. They claim that it is power, ego, and not love. Control is slipping out of his grasp. Because let's face it, Melody has been quietly developing. Without disclosing personal information, she has managed to maintain her reputation. She has been staying on her grind, rebranding, and leveling up, all without making Martell the center of attention. That is power. That's mastery over your own story. In the meantime, Martell's responses have been erratic, emotional, and reactive. He's responding to her story, not directing it. That's a difficult change for a man who used to seem to have all the cards. Melody is in charge, and Martell is aware that he is playing catch-up. It's as if the roles are reversed. There is no doubt as to whether this whole situation is genuine, the result of fan speculation, or staged drama for love and marriage. In the public game, Melody is winning. Additionally, it appears that Martell is struggling to keep up with the play. But what do you all think? Is Melody merely using soft glam misdirection to trot the internet while she is actually pregnant? Or was it all a masterclass in social media? And was that post sincere, or was Martell attempting to hide from the cameras? Let's discuss it in the comments section. If you are as invested in this tea as we are, hit that like. Additionally, if there's one thing we can be certain of, it's not yet over, so be sure to subscribe.